Vietnam has an ambitious name for its latest economic experiment, Silicon Valley, Vietnam. It could be years before the country sees any of the success of the Californian tech companies. But with GDP growth at its slowest since 1999, Vietnam certainly needs a boost to the economy. Now it's betting on start-up companies which could tap the potential of its market of 90 million people, especially the huge young population. To find out more, Lien Hoang visited a popular meeting place for startups in Ho Chi Minh City.
Steve Jobs inspires a lot of people in Vietnam, especially the up-and-comers who dream of building great tech companies. An image of the Apple co-founder is the main decoration at Saigon Hub, where startups gather to work and spread ideas. Now the government hopes to do a little inspiring of its own. Recently it announced two major projects, one called Silicon Valley, Vietnam, and the other a $110 million fund. Both would support the country's budding startup scene.
Look at this project as the first signal to prove that now the government, they do aware about technology startup. So they do want to support and grow the technology startup in Vietnam.
Officials haven't released many details, but the money is likely to go toward two so-called accelerators, one in Hanoi and one in Ho Chi Minh City. In these places, there will be a mentorship program and training for startups. There will also be help connecting startups with investors.
And the model, they will support the startup from the very beginning, from just the business idea into the building the idea into the prototype, and then test the market, also launch the product and then scale to the next level.
Skeptics question whether the government should be involved in startups at all. But in communist Vietnam, there aren't a lot of big ideas that succeed without some government support. Many in the tech world say that for startups to succeed, they need more efficient regulations.
So I would encourage anything the government can do to make it easier to get a license, to make it easier to pay my taxes to the government, to make paperwork easier. And if there's a special program for internet companies or startups, there may be some kind of fast track program that makes it easier for us to get licenses and do business. That would be great.
The country is looking at examples in South Korea, Malaysia, and especially Singapore, where the government poured hundreds of millions of dollars into startups. But Vietnam has its own advantages. More than half the country is under 30 years old, about 1/3 have internet access, and there are 120 million mobile subscriptions in a market of 90 million people.
Now we're experiencing a new generation. So there's a lot of momentum right now, a lot of young people doing startups, a lot of experienced people doing startups. So, it's in a new space that it's never been in before. So.
Vietnam needs startups because economic growth has reached record lows. But IT is one of the few sectors that have remained strong.
Information technology could be a great industry, or is a great industry for Vietnam. It doesn't require a lot of money. You don't need a big factory. It's clean. These are clean jobs. They don't pollute. They're highly paid generally. So, and also the world is moving towards more information technology all the time.
Nguyen Thi Tu Chum works at Square, which is like Facebook for Burma. She says startups attract a lot of passionate employees.
I think Square is a good company for me to learn and make my contribution to this company. Yeah.
Square uses Saigon Hub as an office. Many different startups share this co-working space because they think it encourages innovation.
Maybe you can work from home or from a coffee shop, but they all lack of a community. So when you come here, you can have the motivation from all the other entrepreneurs working with you. You can share the resource, the knowledge, the experience of each other to be successful together.
If Silicon Valley, Vietnam takes off, this place could get a lot more crowded. For Asia Calling, this is Lien Hoang in Ho Chi Minh City.